Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day to play some baseball. Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome back
to Stark Raving Sports. I missed you dearly. Also, gamers, I finally did it. I actually started making content for my personal channel.
You know, I didn't even mean to do that, but look at that shit.
So if you liked what you saw here today, please consider going and checking out and maybe even dropping a spicy little sub to my personal channel in the description. Anyways, what's up with this Jack Cust guy, huh? Where do I even begin? I'd imagine where every single one of these videos ever starts, and that's at the beginning. Meet John Joseph Jack Cust III. And even the literal knight D.D. Gregorius' name isn't that long. Shit. On August 16th, 2003, Jack Cust is a backup player on the Baltimore Orioles. They're playing the New York Yankees in Baltimore in a tense extra inning game. After a walk and 2 outs at the bottom of the 12th inning, Cust is the tying run of this 5-4 game. We're not gonna tell you what happens yet. First, how the heck did Jack Cust get here? In 1997, Cust was drafted in the first round by the Arizona Diamondbacks, before the team had even played an official game, fun fact. In his first rookie league season, he had a .447 on-base percentage in 35 games. By 1998, Cust was a Pioneer League All-Star. He led the league in walks, 86, on-base percentage, 450, and slugging percentage, 651, and was even Baseball America's first team minor league All-Star DH, California League All-Star, and Arizona Diamondbacks Minor League Player of the Year. Needless to say, he was a promising individual. Knowing that, you may be surprised to know that he would only have 2 official at-bats with the D-backs ever. Jumping ahead a bit, on January 7th, 2002, he was traded to the Colorado Rockies for a guy named Mike Myers.
Groovy, baby.
He spent the majority of that season in AAA, but in 35 games with the big league club, he went 11 for 65 at the plate and put up a negative .5 WAR. WAR, for those of you who don't know, essentially qualifies a player's value to their team, so for it to be negative, yikers. Who would have thought? At this point, he was just a former top prospect who couldn't keep his feet up in the big leagues. But you know who said nummy nummy nummy, gimme gimme, yummy yummy? The Orioles. Roll that motherfucking clip.
Garcia, they're going to send him. No, they stop him. And Cust falls down. And he's going to run down. Aaron Boone going to tag him out.
There was nobody at home plate, and Jack Cust simply lost his footing. Nobody was at home.
Let's now go back to that August 16th game we started setting the stage for earlier. Cust was an Oriole for 10 days at the start of this game. He was batting just a little over the Mendoza line, striking out almost every third time he was at bat, and only hitting a 188 on balls in play over time. Not exactly a crushing start to his Orioles career. So you know he was looking to make any good impression possible as the tying run in the 12th inning with 2 outs. And then the ball was hit. Jack Cust fell on his face twice between third and home as the tying run with home plate wide open for him. This has to be one of the most uniquely embarrassing situations a big league player has ever faced. No pun intended. And you know what? Jack Cust kinda literally stumbled into being a good ball player. For the rest of that 2003 season, he hit a .289 with a .347 on-base percentage and a .467 slugging percentage. After that, he didn't really get any opportunities to continue that momentum for over 3 years. From 2004 to 2006, he had 4 big league plate appearances, only one of those being with the Orioles. He stumbled his way, yet again, out of a solid chance in Baltimore, but he did show immediately after that he was capable of hitting well against major league pitching. After this, he just kinda, how would you describe it? General Custer decided it was time to turn on the Jets, I guess? The Oakland A's decided to pick him up from the Padres organization because they needed to replace A's and Marlins legend Mike Piazza as their designated hitter. Cust would then do something you totally see all the time. 6 runs in his first 7 games. What's up, Kyle Schwarber? Now, granted, he didn't keep up this exact insane play for the whole 2007 season, but he did set a record that season. The category he held this record in was TTO. If you don't know what TTO means, allow me to explain. TTO stands for 3 true outcomes, and those outcomes would be strikeouts, walks, and home runs. Basically, Every standard outcome for an at-bat in a baseball game that the defense behind the pitcher has zero involvement in. Jack ended his 2007 season with a 58.1 TTO rate, the highest ever for someone with enough at-bats to qualify for this title. This record no longer stands today, as baseball's TTO rate as a whole is increased as of late. But in 2007, this was the most extreme a player had ever been in that regard. Now, what should being a 3 true outcome player from 2007 tell you? He mashed balls. Jack Cust? More like Jack crushed. I'm gonna edit that one out. In 2007, Cust rocked a slugging percentage of .504, which basically means he averaged at least a single every other bat. He hit 26 home runs, drove in 82 runs, got on base 40.8% of the time, and culminated his breakout year with a 146 OPS plus, meaning he was 46% better than an average hitter that season. A lot of these numbers look like extremes in 2007, but they were over the course of a full season, so they were marvelous. He walked over 20% of the time, struck out almost a third of the time, and 35.5% of the balls he put in play landed for hits. All of these are noticeably above average. He, for the most part, did it again in 2008 and 2009 and 2010. He led the league in strikeouts every year from 07 to 09 and led it in walks in 08. He was the 3 true outcome guy in the game, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. In Oakland, he averaged the following numbers: 24 homers, 70 RBI, 94 walks, 168 strikeouts, 381 OBP, 457 slugging percentage, 126 OPS plus. That's good. You know who had a 127 OPS plus in the last full MLB season to this point? Bryce Harper. How Cust never picked up one measly point in AL MVP voting is neither here nor there, but in Oakland, he was one of the deadliest hitters in the game. Think about how this started though. Cust literally stumbled onto his face, immediately showed signs of being a good ball player, and as soon as he got the opportunity to consistently play every day, he proved himself. The video is titled that way because it's just so fun and fascinating to think of how close to literal that transformation was. Obviously, we have no idea what kind of adjustments were made behind closed doors to help Cust become a better player, but from what the numbers show, the transition seemed more sudden than not. Something else that was sudden was his decline. After a pretty solid 2010 with the A's, he was signed to the Seattle Mariners for 2011. By the end of his time there, also in 2011, he had a .213 batting average and only clubbed 3 home runs. For a player like Cust, 3 home runs in 67 games was not gonna fly. Obviously, the Mariners yeeted that shit. In the next 3 years, he was dropped by 6 different teams. You gotta feel bad for the guy at that point. And by 2014, the final nail in the coffin was being released by the Baltimore Orioles. Again, putting an awfully weird ending to this roller coaster of a career. Cust finished his career with a 120 OPS plus and 100 home runs in the last 5 years in being in the majors. He turned around from looking like a falling prospect into one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball. But to some, he'll always be the guy who fell on his face with home plate wide open. But to us, he's more than that. He's the guy who fell on his face and did something about it. He turned a moment of complete and utter embarrassment, maybe even unprecedented embarrassment, into a solid big league career. Like, as soon as he could after that. That's special. He still fell on his face though, and it was fucking hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it, as always. And I do, in fact, love you forever. I still stream on Twitch every now and again, and like I said, I started making stuff for my personal channel, so if you want to check those out, the links will be in the description, and well, I'll love you even more forever. Also, if you want to talk to some of us members here at Stark Raving Sports, this Friday at 4 p.m. PST, we will be in our Discord, so stop by. Anyways, have a lovely day, gamers. Peace.